Welcome to Hidden Histories Exposed, your go-to channel for entertainment and intriguing curiosities. The images of a car engulfed in flames with the headline stating that Paul Walker had died reached the planet on November 30th, 2013. The tragedy occurred on a busy street in the city of Santa Clarita, California, in the United States. Paul left behind his wife, a daughter named Meadow, who was 15 at the time, and his entire family and friends, not to mention the countless fans, especially those closely following the Fast and Furious saga, who were incredulous at what had happened. How the life of an actor who was gaining more and more space ended so tragically, what were his last moments, and even his last conversation with his mother for that, we'll have to go back in time to explain everything to you. Paul Walker was born on September 12, 1973, in the city of Glendale, California. Since childhood, he had a great interest in cars and high speeds. One of his grandparents raced in professional car competitions in the 1960s and helped instill this passion in him. Years later, as an established actor, Walker began collecting cars for his personal collection, including the iconic Nissan Skyline that became famous in the Fast and Furious series. Paul made his big screen debut in 1986 in the film Monster in the Closet, where he portrayed a teacher. Over the years, he gained more prominence and new opportunities, not only in cinema but also in television. He participated in several series, usually as a guest actor, but it was with the Fast and Furious franchise that Paul Walker began to finally gain widespread recognition from the general public. The first film was released in 2001, but it was from the fifth film onwards that the franchise began to take off in 2013. When Paul Walker died, he was filming the seventh film in the Fast and Furious franchise. Gradually, he was gaining more prominence in the media and new film opportunities. At 40 years old, the actor was a rising star. He was cast to play the lead role in the film Hitman Agent 47, which is based on a very famous espionage and assassination video game series. Despite his fame and increasing prestige in Los Angeles, the actor remained someone who prioritized his family and friends above all else. In a documentary, his mother Cheryl Walker recounts the last time she saw him. She states that he was always a very affectionate son who enjoyed spending hours talking to her. Not coincidentally, the last day she saw her Paul was the day he tragically passed away. They were chatting and having fun as always at her house, the topic of conversation being about Christmas. The actor even mentioned that he would go out later to buy a Christmas tree. However, at a certain point in the conversation, he received a text message on his phone. The message alerted him to the charity event he was supposed to attend. Walker had forgotten about it. Instantly, he got up, hastily bid farewell to his mother, and rushed out the door. The artist had to attend a charity event, which aimed to raise funds for the victims of a typhoon that had recently hit the Philippines. It all happened at a specialized sports car dealership. This would be the last event the actor would ever participate in. According to a report from Us magazine, Walker was very happy with the event and its scale, as he had been the one responsible for organizing it through his organization Reach Out Worldwide, which had been created after the terrible earthquake that hit Haiti in 2010. At that time, the actor had traveled to the country and witnessed the tragedy, feeling deeply affected by the situation and wanting to help as many people as possible in extreme poverty or victims of natural disasters. He brought the organization to the event, and they managed to raise money to help the victims and also toys for the children who had lost everything in the tragedy. Obviously, this made Paul Walker's death even more painful. He had just helped thousands of people. As he left the charity event, he sat in the passenger seat of his friend Roger Rodas' car. He was driving a red sports car. By the way, do you know who Roger Rodas was? He was a close friend of the actor and a very successful man financially. He had worked for giant banks and was also famous for his involvement in humanitarian causes. It's no wonder he was at the event with Paul. However, what brought them together was the love they both had for cars, especially fast ones. They were both owners of a car customization shop in California, styled in the fashion of the Fast and Furious franchise, but legally. Additionally, Rodas participated in a professional racing championship called the Pirelli World Champ. Returning to the fateful day of November 30th, just before they hit the streets of the city, Paul waved to the fans and photographers who were at the scene. These were the last photos taken of the actor. After that, they set off. When they were in the Valencia neighborhood in Santa Clarita around 3 in the afternoon, Rodas lost control of the car and crashed into a concrete pole, as well as 3 more trees. The car was completely destroyed, and to make matters worse, it caught fire. Despite several witnesses seeing and trying to help the victims, the flames and subsequent explosion prevented both Walker and Rodas from being saved in any way. When rescue arrived, unfortunately, both were already deceased. Investigations into the accident estimated that the car was traveling between 80 and 93 miles per hour, whereas the maximum speed for the area is only 45 miles per hour. Neither of them had consumed alcohol or used any type of drugs. The road was also in perfect condition and was not considered one of the possible reasons for the accident. According to the autopsy, both died precisely due to the combination of the impact of the crash with the flames that engulfed the vehicle. Ironically or not, the location where Walker and his friend died was well known to those who promote illegal street races, especially drift races, as an ideal spot for performing car maneuvers. An interesting fact about Paul's and his friend's death is that both families sued the sports car manufacturer. They claimed that the vehicle had structural flaws in its design, which had led to the deaths of the two. The manufacturer argued that it was actually a driver error and that they were not responsible for either death. After forensic analysis and input from accident experts, it was proven that Roger Rodas did indeed lose control of the car, and his high speed combined with the crash location resulted in the deaths of the friends, thus absolving the manufacturer of blame. And remember, we mentioned he was filming the 7th Fast and Furious movie and was set to star in Hitman Agent 47? Well, after the shocking death of Paul Walker, production on Fast and Furious was suspended for some time. When filming resumed, the filmmakers had to adapt the script for Paul's character. To shoot his scenes, they relied on the actor's brothers and, of course, the help of technology to create a digital version of him. The farewell to Brian's character is one of the most emotional scenes of the last decade. The box office was a huge success, surpassing $1 billion worldwide. As for the filming of Hitman Agent 47, it hadn't started yet. Because of this, the actor could be replaced by another. Rupert Friend ended up taking the role. Unlike Fast and Furious, Hitman's box office performance was not very good. Several tributes were made to Paul Walker and his friend Roger Rodas. The song See You Again by Wiz Khalifa, created for the Fast and Furious movie as a tribute to the actor and featuring a very emotional music video, became a huge success. The organization Reach Out Worldwide continues to operate to this day, carrying forward Paul Walker's idea of helping people. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and stay tuned for more hidden histories exposed.